Mexican security officials say that top drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman has escaped prison. The near-mile-long tunnel built through an opening from the shower area of his cell was created without detection of prison guards. Mexico's security commissioner says the tunnel was equipped with PVC pipes for ventilation and lighting.
For the second time in 14 months, the diminutive murderer and drug kingpin who refuses to be incarcerated has fled his Mexican maximum security walls, proving to many that when it comes to walls and security, a corrupt Mexican government is the best or worst there is at what they do, which would seem to include ensuring there's plenty of inside help when it comes to digging tunnels and taking chunks out of shower walls. From the man who knows about such walls and such procedures, the former commissioner of the NYPD, former commissioner of the New York City Department of Correction, and international security expert who advises nations around the world, Bernie Kerik. Bernie, I have to believe that when you heard about this, you had to laugh because, quite frankly, what these guys did in Mexico makes what happened recently in upstate New York, makes those guys look like amateurs.
Well, this was pretty sophisticated, Ed, and I think it's a major, major black eye for the Mexican government, especially their attorney general, who the last time this happened said that extraditing Guzman back to the United States was unnecessary because they have the housing and the capacity to hold him. He's never going to get out of prison. He's going to be there for the rest of his life. And he went on and on. The reality is he's now gone into the wind, and it'll take some effort to get him back.
Is there any doubt in your mind that what happened here, and again, a lot of investigation to go on, but this had to be an inside job. There had to be people involved who helped him. And knowing what has gone on in the Mexican prison system before, undoubtedly, probably there were threats against families. There was money that was paid off. This guy has a ton of cash. So when all is said and done, you think that's what we're going to find out happened here. There were a lot of people involved.
Ed, listen, I did the criminal justice assessment for the Mexico City government back in 2002, 2003. The reality is, in this case, you will see there was inside involvement, both in the institution and on the outside, by some government officials, contractors, people that knew the landscape. But the problem with this internal corruption in Mexico, all over Mexico, with public servants like police officers, these cops and correction officers make $400, $500 a month, maybe. Most of them at the beginning stages make even less. You get somebody that goes to them and offers them their annual salary in one lump sum. They're going to do things they shouldn't do. And we've seen this historically, dating back years. So this is nothing new. I think there's going to be an effort to get this guy back. They're going to have to get the U.S. involved to do this. I think DEA will put in a bigger effort. Our DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration, the Department of Justice, they'll put an enormous amount of resources on this. This guy should be in custody. He should be extradited to the United States for the crimes he's committed here, and he should be housed here in this country. And then I could almost guarantee he's not going nowhere.
When you talk about that, I don't think people really know a lot of the history here for El Chapo. When you say that he should be in the United States, he should be incarcerated here. This guy, what he has helped export from Mexico to America has cost God knows how many lives of Americans. Certainly the drug trade is one thing here. It has infiltrated this country. This guy is a major part of what is wrong in America today as far as the drug culture and the violence culture from Mexico is involved, is he not?
Yes, he is. And he's responsible, him and his organization are responsible for hundreds, if not thousands of deaths, murders, kidnappings, and other violent crimes, number one. Number two, he's indictable in this country, to my understanding, by a number of different federal jurisdictions, including the Eastern District of New York in Brooklyn. So I think we have to push forward with those indictments. We have to urge the Mexican government to let us extradite him, get him back into this country, try him, and put him where he belongs.
Do you think they'll find him again? Because I'm looking at a quote right now from Michael Vigil, retired U.S. DEA, said we may never find him again with the kind of money this guy has.
You know what? That's what they said about Pablo Escobar from the Colombian cartels and a bunch of the others. I worked on the Ochoa family investigation. Eventually, they will find him. It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of effort. It's going to take a lot of money. But I think they'll get them.
I got about a minute left here, Bernie. The president has commuted the sentence for 46 nonviolent drug offenders. It speaks to something that we've touched on briefly, prison reform. Is it time to look at a lot of these offenses and time to get these people out of the jails and make space for the people who really deserve to be there?
You know, Ed, I have been on this mission for 2 years now. I fully support what the president did today, but I think it's just the tip of the iceberg. I think we have to look at, you know, the people that are mandatory minimums and sentencing guidelines, the restoration of rights, reducing the prison population. There's a number of issues that have to be looked at, but I applaud the president in his efforts today.
Fair to say, though, that if you do start making some space here, I mean, we already have an overcrowded system, but you could then put the real criminals in there, those who are involved in homicides and felonies and others who, quite frankly, seem to get released more often than not.
You know what? Bad people that do bad things belong in prison. First time, nonviolent offenders, they make a mistake, they do something wrong, give them a second chance. We're supposed to be the country of second chances. Give them a second chance, a real second chance, get them out of the prisons, put the bad guys in, and try to get these people back into society in a better way.
Some people do deserve that second chance. We've got to make the changes. Remind everybody, Bernie's book, From Jailer to Jailed, My Journey from Correction and Police Commissioner to Inmate 84888-054. Fascinating reading, but when it comes down to all of this, no one knows the systems better than he. Bernie Kerik, always a pleasure to have you on the show, my friend. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Ed.
All right, it's a pleasure. We will see indeed if what the president did, if he commutes more sentences before he leaves office. Stay with us. The fastest 60 minutes of news, The Hard Line, continues.